congratulations, Uriah. Is it accurate? Did you apologize and say I'm sorry after you knocked him out when you guys were down there?
Yeah. I told him I was sorry for knocking him out.
It speaks to the respect that Anderson has engendered, but can you say in your own words why you felt the need to say that to him?
I felt bad. Yeah, I felt bad, man. I mean, leading up to the fight, there was a lot of emotions, and we all know Anderson's a G and what he's done for the sport. So a guy like me that he inspired years ago as a kid, or, I think I was maybe 22, but it was hard. It was hard to kind of separate those emotions and fighting your idol and beating him up and potentially kill him. It was weird. So, yeah, right after the event, all the emotions just came out. I mean, even today, I woke up like fighting it like, shit, how am I going to deal with this? But, yeah, I said, I'm sorry.
He gave you some difficulty in the first couple of rounds. He was landing some kicks and whatnot. What makes him a difficult opponent? Obviously, he's not a prime Anderson Silva now, but you were in the cage with him for almost 20 minutes. What makes him a difficult opponent to fight?
What makes Anderson so difficult is his creativity. He's very creative. So it's easy to get lost in that. And, we've seen him throughout his career just go out there and just dismantle people, and just how he does it very fashionably. So it was risky, and my coach always just tell me, listen, follow the basics. It's easy to get lost in that. I kind of have the same stylistic style. I go out there, I try to have a little fun too, but we decided to keep it simple, and that's what I was trying to do.
Did you have moments where you saw an opening and then didn't let it go because you were wary maybe he had set some trap up for you? Were those things happening in the early part of the fight?
It was a little weird in the beginning. I was trying to find his rhythm. I knew he was trying to set something up. He kept moving a certain way. I'm like, all right, he has a game plan. Let me feel it. Let me figure it out. But he threw a couple of punches, and I was like, wait a minute, I can see his punches. So his range was good. I remember trying to hit him with straight techniques, and I'm like, I can't touch him. So I was like, well, maybe I got to wait for him to counter. It was just so much going on in there. But I was just looking for an opening. But his range was really well. He kept moving to the right. I didn't want to overlap and go into that because I know he would have set me up. I just felt faster.
And finally, it was interesting the way you reacted compared to Kevin Holland saw Adesanya sitting there, and he's up over the top of the cage, and he was chirping at Adesanya down there. And I don't think you ever looked in this direction. That's a guy obviously you have on your mind. Did you have any feelings that he was sitting there, and did you was it good to get a knockout win in front of the champion sitting there as a reminder of, hey, this is what I'm capable of doing?
Oh, yeah. Well, I know he danced with Anderson, and I was the guy that finished it, regardless of what everyone's going to say, whether it's an age factor, which Anderson never believes. I mean, it starts here. It's like COVID. For me, COVID starts here. I mean, I've been going through this whole fucking year with COVID, people that I know, people I've trained with, and everyone's like, oh, be careful, bro. I'm like, dude, the moment I started giving this shit power, I lost. Yeah, there's something going around, but it's basic, man. Just stay clean and stay away from motherfuckers. Like, how hard is that? So, but no, he's the champ. He did what he had to do to get to where he is. There's respect. I knew he was out here. My guess is he was trying to either see holes in me or potentially give Anderson another rematch. Either way is fine. I felt like I did a little sloppy out there. My coaches said something else, but I'm my worst critic. But no, I got nothing bad to say to the champ.
Hey, right. Obviously, a win over Anderson Silva is an incredible thing to have on your resume, but I'm curious, does the interaction you had with him in the cage after the fight mean as much to you?
Oh, yeah. After the fight, we shared a moment, and it's a very honorable moment for a lot of martial artists that out there would see and understand. I'd say probably 2/3 of people who are watching this will never understand that, and that's fine. But the fact that a guy like that took me from, a younger youth saying, oh, I can be creative like that, oh, I can potentially train with a person like that, to stepping in front of him and competing against him and beating him, it was an incredible moment. And I fought that moment for a while, and I fought what's the word I'm looking for? Emotions leading up to this fight. So right then and there, I just had to let it all go.
And I'm sure, you know, you're going to have to take some time to digest this, but you will have, Dana White's confirmed it, you have the honor of being Anderson Silva's last UFC fight. That's something no one can ever take away from you. That's going on your resume as a separate thing in itself. What does that mean?
I mean, there's nothing to boast about. You know, it's not like, I don't see anything to boast about. It was an incredible moment we both shared. 4 minutes, 4 rounds. It was just an incredible moment. I have nothing to even say to that. It's like, all right, you know?
When you were oh, sorry,
What up? Yeah, you good.
when you were in the ring with him, you guys had, that special moment you're talking about, and he was talking into, it sounded like he was giving you advice or something. What did he say to you in those moments?
Man, he was just telling me to, train your mind. Anderson is a little detached from this whole BS, man. I get where he's coming from. He keeps saying that it's not about fighting. I get that. A lot of people don't understand that. It's about that moment, but it's hard for right now where the sport is, where you guys just capitalize on the title. You guys will never get that. So I see where he's coming from, where it's about that moment you share, and it is. I will never get that moment back. Those, how long was that? 12 minutes, whatever? I will never get that back. So he's talking more about that, and I guess as you get older in the sport, you're more focused on that. It's like, all right, what's more important now? Family, friends, loved ones, shit that really matters. So I get where he's coming from, but at the same time, he was still dangerous. But he was just pretty much telling me, you can be world champ, and thank you. He was thanking me, and I'm like, what are you talking about, bro? And he was just saying, train your mind and to be a better version of yourself, pretty much. And I admired that, and no one could ever take that away from me. To me, that I gave that so much leverage to say that was like my championship fight, because I looked up to him so long, and to share that moment in the octagon, which I guess is potentially his last, was pretty cool.
Can anything beat this besides winning the championship belt?
I say it would be right next to it. It's kind of like that hump to say, hey, you're here, bro. Make that jump, and you can fly. Like, all right, I'll do it.
Just a couple quick questions. There was a moment right after the fight was stopped. You sat down on your knees and you look up, and I was trying to gauge what was going through your head right at that moment, the emotion that was going through you. I don't know if you can recall that moment and what was going through your head right at that moment when the fight was stopped.
When I sat down?
Yeah, when you sat down on your knees. It was almost like you were paying an honor to him, but there was something in your eyes, and I was just wondering what was going through your head right at that moment.
I was definitely paying respect. The old Shido way, you turn around, you take a knee, and my coach safe reminded me of that. And we talked about it too, if that happened, to do that out of respect, which that was me being respectful. But it was just all the emotions coming in, and I'm like, dude, don't do it, don't cry, don't be a bitch. What are you doing? Dude, right now, don't hold that shit in. And it was just everything rushing in. The entire year of training, literally trained for a year. The pandemic, the ups, the down, the living in the gym, the fights that fall out, the losing motivation, the finding motivation, the losing weight, to lose the mindset, to get back in it. Everything right then and there just came out.
With the sport sort of changing, you see a lot more trash talking to make fights happen and all this other stuff happening. Do you feel, in the sense, if this is the last time we see Anderson fight, will there be a void, in the sense, in the MMA of the honor and the martial arts aspect that Anderson and that crop brought? And do you feel that it's maybe upon yourself and some others to keep that alive and keep that going, because such an icon that brought that to the sport is stepping away?
As great as that sounds, it's not going to happen. If you really want me to be real, since I like being real, we make stupid people famous. I can get out there and talk some shit, and all of a sudden I'm famous. What's that Catch Me Outside chick? Remember that girl who disrespected her mom on TV and she became famous from that? I'm a grown-ass man. My mom will whoop my ass if I say some dumb shit like that. But that's the day and age we live in. And I'm not being specific to anybody. But personally, I believe that, and I think Denzel Washington said this, you know, you read the news, you're misinformed. If you don't read the news, you're uninformed. So I feel like the media owe it to set the record straight with the right news, but nobody cares. And for a guy like me that cares, because I'm real, I struggled with it. And I became angry, and I became saying, fuck you guys. But that's the way the game works. It's going to work like that because we're heading that way. It sells. Regardless of what I want to say, it sells. It's more entertaining for someone to go out there and sell a fight by belittling someone or saying something. It sells. And it doesn't mean I have to do it, but I get it. It's going to sell. So I owe it to myself to be myself. And to answer your question, I don't think it's going to change. But I do think that it's important to remember who you are and represent yourself well. And hey, if you're not getting what you need to get to where you need to be, maybe talk some shit. But I say go out there and beat the shit out of someone first, and then you have more leverage to do it.
Thank you very much.
And that's all, folks. Thank you very much for coming in to the Primetime Special. You guys have a great evening and go home safe.
I'm just trying to